Welcome, and thank you for participating in our online summit. Sabine made an introduction to my person, so I'm not going to repeat that. I will make a short presentation on Salamantex, on where we are, what we see, and how cryptocurrencies work. Salamantex is a fintech company out of Austria. It was founded in November 17. With a very small core team. The founding team looks back to over 15 years of corporations. Our core competences, with core competences in the area of payment and IT solutions. Salamantex was founded to create a payment scheme, but very important that we have everything that belongs to digital trust. So we have our in-house compliant, we have developers in-house, so we can control everything that happens within the company. The team was very small, but this is a team picture of November last year. So we grew to 35 people. In total, we operate in Austria, in Germany, in Malta, in Spain, and in Asia as well. I want to give you a small overview on the payment market. I mean, as you can see, there are payment methods that you all know, like the credit cards, Visa and MasterCard, UnionPay. And then there is the new payment methods like Alipay and WeChat Pay, and some established payments like PayPal, and then you see Bitcoin. What we want to show here is that with Visa and MasterCard, you see the number of cards. That doesn't mean that's the number of users. It's very difficult because some people have more than one card. And then you can see the daily transactions made by each individual payment scheme and the value of transactions in dollars. What you see here is that the credit cards are very established and they grow very fast. But you can also see that Alipay and WeChat Pay, which is not that old, has a lot of users and is increasing tremendously in numbers of transactions and also in the process of volume. And then you have Bitcoin, which has a lot of transactions, has not so many users, and the numbers of transactions is relatively small. But you have, I just have to open it here because I don't see them on the screen. But you have the transaction volume, which is increasing day by day. So that's also where you can see what happens in the crypto market. The cryptocurrencies there's always it's always mentioned that it's not something that is out of Europe. Europe is a very big market in terms of wallets. It's a very big market in terms of transactions, and it's a very big market in terms of users. So even the daily transactions increased in Europe tremendously since 2013, and also transactions made per day, and that's a big indication that is very important to see that it's not something that happens only outside Europe. This graphic here is also interesting to see because you can see that a number of exchanges, a large number of exchanges, 37% come out of Europe. Even the number of wallet users is 31% within Europe. And the number of wallet providers is very largely dedicated also to Europe. And that's I think is interesting because Europe cryptocurrencies have different meanings. Different people think differently about cryptos and say it's black money or it's money that's not something to use. Well, this shows that even in countries like Europe or in where we have governments and the banking system is relatively stable, people tend to go into this direction and see what else can be done. And so Europe is on track. We have, as you know, that Salamantex is making his whole story on merchants, the acceptance of crypto payments within stores of any kind. So the numbers of transactions are increasing, and the acceptance is also therefore increasing. What is the problem? First of all, why is not every merchant already set up with a payment scheme to accept cryptocurrencies? There are many problems. One is the exchange. How do I get my euros? The volatility risk is also a very big thing. If you receive cryptos, that you have to accept the volatility. Then there's a lot of problem with the missing know-how. Is it compliant? Is it a good way to pay? The other thing is that it's difficult to integrate into the cash system. Do I get my cash out? Can I integrate it within my bookkeepings and all of that? And in the end, it's complicated to set all that up. So what Salamantex did in this case is we went through all of these steps that I just showed you before, and we said, okay, fine, we have to find solutions for that. I start from the right. So what we managed to do and successfully managed to do, we integrated the whole system into the ecosystem. So it's not that we invented a new system, it's the existing ecosystem where we managed to get in. Meaning that we connected ourselves to terminal providers. So we have our app integrated within the terminal provider so that a QR code can be shown. We connected ourselves to acquirers and network providers in the DACH region in the first step. We integrated ourselves into the cash register system so that it's very easy to allow people to pay with any sort of cryptocurrencies that are on our system. We also have strong focus on compliance, meaning that we want to be a registered scheme in every country. We do KYC process, we have AML process all in place. Also, for the accounting, as you know, we pay out fiat. We can pay out this fiat through our corporation and partner bank 1031/WEG. And we can deliver accounting statements to the merchants that they see exactly on which terminal what transaction has been made and the value. So that if the money comes from the acquirer, they have a detailed list that it's that amount with Visa, it's that amount with any Giro card, it's that amount with Salamantex. How does it work? Well, first of all, you have to. This is shown on a tablet, but this process that I show you now, or that I explain to you now, works on every terminal the same way. So how does it work? It's either by entering onto the terminal or by sending it through the cash system, the amount, let's say it's 50 euros. Then in the next step, the shopper can choose on the currency he wants to pay with. So we currently have 6 currencies, and one of the 6 currencies he can choose to pay with, all depending on what he has on his wallet. Every wallet is possible to use as long as it's a smart wallet and you have a camera function in order to scan your QR code. And of course, the wallet needs to be covered with the amount of cryptos that you want to pay. In this case, it's Bitcoin that is selected. And now there's the exchange rate is coming up. And now for 30 seconds, you have time to accept this exchange rate, which is very important, that you see that it's not a rip-off of any hidden costs. Once you accept the exchange rate, a QR code is shown. This QR code can then be scanned by your wallet, and in the end, it's done. So you get your printout and you're allowed to leave leave the store. Salamantex managed to do some milestones. So we started our first rollout with our own terminals. We had our first client in December 2018, a restaurant in Vienna. Since then, we managed to have a further rollout with a total of over 120 users, merchants in Austria. This May we managed to finish our full integration into Ingenico, and we will launch our services together with A1, our partner here in Austria, A1 Payment, and Concardis. And in the next step, we hope that we get everything done that needs to be done for Germany, meaning that we get our registration together with 1031 to have BaFin, so that we are BaFin regulated business. Why Salamantex? Well, for every merchant, you open new target groups. It's an easy integration, because we don't make any more work to the merchants. We really go through the acquiring system. So basically everything is done automatically. It's just ticking a box. We work compliant, so that we have everything that we do is compliant and legal. We support a strong network through our partners, so that we can provide our services across the globe. Currently, it's the DACH region, but with every partner that we have, we grow faster. And we are currently the leading solution in crypto payment through the integration that we do and through the mechanics that we use. This is a short reference on partners we work with, where I don't want to go in detail for every company, but these are the companies we are currently in corporations and do our services. Yeah, thank you very much. You can follow us on all these links that you see here. And I saw that there are on the chat that a lot of things came in, so I'm trying to come to this chat here. How can I do this?
There was one question if we are planning to support stable coins.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that we can support any coin as long as it's tradable. That is the most important thing. Stable coins is a very big topic. Stable coins are coming and are even more in development. The thing with stable coins is that currently there are not so many on the market, but our system can do it. So we don't have a problem to support stable coins on the system.
Are there any more questions? We have 5 minutes left. Just put them in the chat.
Do you think Corona will slow or speed adoption of POS by Salamantex? That's a very interesting question. We are currently in the same situation as most of the companies. I think our office is shut down, but we all work from home. And but we are in a lucky position that our partners want to work with us now even more than before, because they say cryptocurrencies, or even the whole payment, the way of payment is going up away from cash. It's going into cards. It's going into digital payments. So Salamantex, of course, has a big chance after Corona, and so we see a speed. And the partners we work with and the acquirers we work with, they make a lot of pressure on us. They make a lot of pressure to go live pretty quick. in order to support all that. Another reason, which is more, it's not so much happening in Europe, but this is also part of this summit, and that's why I say it. You know that cryptocurrencies is used, it's not used, is bought a lot in countries where the banking system is not very stable. So people try to go into alternative currencies. They go to gold, they go in all sort of goods, but also into cryptocurrencies. So that's why it's positive for us. Guten Abend. In der gewöhnlichen Runde gibt es für alle Unternehmen die Möglichkeit, die Payment-Lösung als White Label Solution zu erhalten. Davon, dass wir die Lösung im Payment Design nicht. Is there a way to use as a white labeling solution? No, Salamantex is a I hope that answers the question. Salamantex is a payment scheme. It's basically, as long as if you're a merchant and you're connected to any sort of acquirer, you can use Salamantex as long as we are connected there. Depending on the country, there are different regulations. So, for example, in Germany, we have to work with a bank, and that's why you will later hear a speech of our partner 1031. But in the great scheme of things, Salamantex is a payment solution. It's a payment scheme, and that's why it's not part of a white labeling solution. Domestic usage of. There was a question before, Jasmin, hold on. Plante bereits Support. Okay, das haben wir schon gehabt, ja. How do you stimulate domestic usage of cryptos? How do you stimulate domestic usage of cryptos in a way? Well, the thing is, and it's also regarding next, and what about Zcash support? Salamantex is not a crypto. We are not miners, and we are not crypto generators. We are not. We don't do all of that. What we do, and we support any sort of cryptocurrency if the market wants it, if the merchant wants it, and if it's tradable. That is very important. If a currency is not tradable, then it's a very risky business, and we cannot do it. So that's of course we do some. I have to be very careful because partners of mine would say, well, there are some cryptocurrencies who it's just a scam and don't use it. So that's also something that we take care of, that we don't do any sort of cryptocurrency just because it's a possibility. Impossible, I guess. I don't know for what it's related to. What exchange rate does the company use for transactions? We don't. The exchange is done by the crypto exchange. Salamantex makes his living on the Disacho, and the Disacho rates are not presented by us because we work through the acquirers, and acquirers are the ones who negotiate the Disacho rates with the merchants, and therefore I cannot give you an answer on any percentage. But Salamantex is not the exchange, so this, in terms of exchange rate, that's a question that needs to be then answered by the exchange rate, by the exchange in the back.
Yep. Thank you very much, Markus.